Hey Reddit. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Maybe I'm just screaming into the void. Maybe I need advice. Or maybe I just want to hear that I'm not crazy. I'm a long-time lurker, first-time poster, and this isn't the kind of introduction I ever imagined writing. But here I am, because last night, my world cracked open and I still hear the echo in my chest. To give some context, I've been married for almost 10 years to my wife, Nina. We've had our ups and downs, like any couple. We met in college, bonded over a shared love of indie films and conspiracy podcasts, and for the longest time, I genuinely thought I'd won the lottery. She's funny, smart, and she walks into a room like she's owed the air everyone breathes. I used to love that about her. Now I see that same confidence and feel sick. Over the past year, something started feeling off. I couldn't pin it at first, and I gaslit myself into ignoring it. You know that kind of creeping dread when someone you love changes just slightly, like their laugh doesn't quite reach their eyes anymore, or they suddenly need more space in a life you thought you shared. That's what it was like. There wasn't one big moment. It was a collection of tiny, nagging dissonances. She started working out more. That's great, right? Except she never cared for the gym before. Said it was societal narcissism. Suddenly, she's buying Lululemon like it's on fire sale and tracking macros like she's prepping for a bodybuilding contest. I asked what inspired the change, and she just shrugged, said she wanted to feel sexy again. Fair. Good even. But then came the late-night workouts, the "I'm meeting Clara for dinner" text that stretched into radio silence until 1 a.m. And worst of all, the phone. Oh, the phone. Nina used to leave her phone everywhere. Kitchen counter, bathroom sink. Sometimes she'd forget it in the fridge. Yes, really. But starting around December, she clung to that thing like it was a newborn. Notifications were suddenly turned off, and she'd flip it face down no matter where she was. I told myself she was just being more private. Hell, I don't like people reading over my shoulder either, but deep down I knew. Something was up. I didn't want to admit that I knew. Here's the kicker. I don't even think I believed she was cheating, not then. I thought maybe she was depressed, maybe she was going through something she wasn't ready to share. So I did what loving partners do. I tried to be supportive. I cooked more, sent her those cheesy thinking of you memes, gave her space when she asked. I thought I was helping. I was enabling. I found out by accident. A stupid, terrible, ironic accident that I still can't believe actually happened. You ever have one of those moments that feel like they were scripted by a mean-spirited rom-com writer? That was me, 3 weeks ago, sitting in the parking lot of our local Target at 8:47 p.m., holding Nina's backup phone because hers wouldn't connect to the Bluetooth in our car. She tossed it into my lap and said, "Just set it up while I grab tampons." No password. No hesitation. She forgot that she hadn't logged out of her messenger. I wasn't snooping. Honestly, I wasn't. But the screen lit up while I was syncing the contacts, and a message popped up from a contact labeled simply, "Adam Briefcase." We don't know any Adam. Not one. And certainly not one who gets heart emojis from my wife at 8:47 p.m. on a Monday night. I froze. Just stared at the notification like it was a spider on my hand. Then curiosity, no, survival instinct, took over. I opened the chat. And there it was, all of it, in grotesque clarity. Dozens of messages. Hundreds. Flirty texts, exchanged selfies, some risque, some just coffee mugs captioned, "Wish you were here," plans to escape for the weekend, inside jokes about boring husband life, and yeah, details. Too many details. One message burned itself into my mind. I told him I'm working late again. He's so clueless, face with tears of joy, red heart. I remember blinking hard. Like I could reset the screen. Like this was a prank and Ashton Kutcher was about to leap out of the minivan behind me yelling punked. But there was no camera crew. Just me, sitting there while my heart staged a mutiny in my chest. The rest of the messages, screenshots I took, videos I backed up, all came later. But in that moment, I felt everything collapse inward. Rage, heartbreak, confusion, nausea, and above all, shame. I felt stupid. Like I'd been walking around with a sticker on my back that said "property of betrayal." I didn't say anything that night. I couldn't. I was frozen, silent, mechanical. Nina came back with her shopping bag, tossed me a Red Bull, and thanked me for fixing the Bluetooth. She kissed my cheek and said, "You're a lifesaver." And I wanted to vomit. That's just part one. I've got more. How I confronted her, how she spun lie after lie like she was auditioning for an improv troupe, and how my heart ricocheted through every emotion from nuclear anger to numb detachment. But that'll come in the next chunk, if people are still reading. I guess I'm asking, how do you learn to trust yourself again when the one person you trusted most rewrote the entire narrative of your life?